Welcome to The Explainer. So, if you're an engineering management doctoral candidate, you know exactly what's looming on the horizon. The comprehensive exam. It's a huge deal. And it's not just about what you know, it's about connecting all the dots. So today we're going to build a mental framework, a leader's toolkit really, to help you absolutely master it.
I mean, let's be real. The sheer amount of information is just overwhelming. You're supposed to be an expert in leadership, strategy, finance, quality, innovation, and project management. And not just that, but you have to connect all of it all at once under some serious pressure.
Okay, so here's the plan. Instead of trying to memorize 6 separate subjects, let's just reframe it. Let's think of this as building a toolkit. Every single subject is a specific tool, right? A tool that's designed to solve a different kind of leadership problem. Trust me, this mental model makes the knowledge so much easier to organize, remember, and, most importantly, apply when it counts.
All right, let's crack open this toolkit. The very first tool, and honestly the most important one, is all about people. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how great your strategy is or how perfect your project plan is, if you can't lead people, none of it works.
Now this is a classic distinction you absolutely have to know for your exam. Leadership versus management. They are not the same thing. Look at it this way. Leadership is all about the big picture, the vision, the inspiration. Management is about making sure the trains run on time, order, and execution. You could say a leader asks what and why, while a manager asks how and when. And you absolutely need both. And speaking of leadership, a huge part of it is driving change. So, if an exam question hits you with something like, how would you implement a new company-wide software? This is your answer. Cotter's model is your go-to playbook. It gives you a clear, step-by-step roadmap to get it done right.
Okay, moving on. Let's add the next tool to our kit. This one is all about the money. Because every single engineering decision, whether it's launching a new gadget or building a massive bridge, has to make financial sense. It's the engine that makes everything go.
So, your number one most powerful financial tool, it's net present value, or NPV. And here's why it's king. It's based on the simple fact that $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow. NPV takes all the money a project might make in the future and tells you what it's worth right now. It answers the one question that really matters. Will this thing actually create value? If the NPV is positive, you've got a green light.
Now this is where it gets really practical. Imagine the exam asks you to check out a potential partner. Well, these 3 ratios are like a quick health checkup. Can they pay their bills? Are they actually making any money? And are they drowning in debt? In just a few seconds, you get a really clear snapshot of their financial health.
So we've got our people skills down and we know how to handle the money. But where are we actually going? That's where strategy comes in. This tool is your roadmap. It helps you navigate the competition and figure out how to win.
You wouldn't drive into a new city without looking at a map, right? Well, Porter's 5 Forces is your strategic map. It helps you understand the lay of the land in any industry. Who has the power? Your rivals? Your customers? This framework helps you figure out if a market is a potential gold mine or a dangerous minefield.
And here's another one you'll love for the exam, the Ansoff Matrix. It's just brilliant because it gives you 4 super clear, distinct ways to think about growth. If a question asks how a firm can expand, this matrix lets you structure a perfect, methodical answer. It shows you can think clearly about both risk and opportunity. You can have the most brilliant strategy in the world, but if you can't execute, it's completely worthless. That brings us to our 4th tool, building quality and efficiency right into your processes. This is how great ideas become great realities. You've probably heard the term Six Sigma. It's pretty much the gold standard for improving how things get done. It's a super rigorous, statistical way of getting as close to perfect as humanly possible. Think about that number, 3.4 defects per million opportunities. It's all about hunting down and eliminating errors. So how do you actually do Six Sigma? You use the DMAIC cycle. Just remember the letters, DMAIC. It stands for define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Honestly, just think of it as the scientific method for business. It's a 5-step recipe to solve just about any problem you can find.
In the world we live in today, if you're standing still, you're actually moving backward. That's why our 5th tool is all about driving innovation. This is how you future-proof your organization and stay ahead of the curve.
The S-curve is such a powerful way to think about technology. It shows that every tech has a life cycle.
It starts slow, then grows like crazy, and then it flattens out. The real trick for a leader isn't just riding the current wave. It's knowing exactly when it's time to jump off and catch the next big one that's just starting to form.
So here's a huge strategic choice you have to make. Do you innovate like a fortress, where all your secrets are guarded? Or do you innovate like a hub, pulling in ideas from universities, startups, suppliers, from everywhere? In today's world, that open approach is often the fastest way to make progress.
And here we are, the final tool. This is where everything else we've talked about, leadership, strategy, finance, quality, it all comes together for one ultimate purpose: delivering complex projects successfully. This is where the rubber meets the road. You have to know about the critical path. It's essentially the project's backbone. It's the one sequence of tasks where there's absolutely zero wiggle room. If any single task on that path is delayed by even one day, the entire project is delayed by one day. As a manager, your job is to protect that critical path at all costs.
So how do you know if you're actually on track? You use earned value management. Think of it like a health monitor for your project. It gives you these two simple indexes, CPI and SPI, that tell you in a single glance if you're over budget or behind schedule. It's the ultimate early warning system.
And there it is, your complete engineering leader's toolkit. 6 distinct areas, 6 sets of tools, all interconnected. When you frame your knowledge this way, you can walk into that exam with a clear, organized mind, ready to tackle anything they throw at you.
Because this whole thing is about way more than just passing an exam. This toolkit, this is the stuff you'll need to lead teams, to manage massive projects, and to drive the engineering breakthroughs that are going to shape our future. The real test, well, that starts the day after the exam.